There he is.
All right.
Hey, everybody. This is Sherry Ferguson. Hold on. Let me get in my frame. This is Sherry Ferguson with the Portland Chamber of Commerce. We're here with the Portland Connections. We will see if anybody wants to pop on and hear a little bit of information. I know right now we've got a lot of things going on where people are needing more IT information. We can't get enough of it. The world has come to a halt on in-person things, and we're looking for ways that we can do things such as this interview here. So with that, we have a great location here in Portland, Tennessee with a Tennessee College of Applied Technology. And I have with me today Andrew and Jeff, and they are going to talk to us a little bit. Jeff, you want to get us started and tell us a little bit about TCAT and kind of go from that side, and then we'll jump on into the specialized section.
Oh, certainly. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. So we're in Portland, and so we're pleased to be here. Our Portland campus is a satellite of Nashville, so we come under the umbrella of TCAT Nashville. The Portland campus has been here for about 5 years, and we currently have 8 programs here on our campus. So our building is getting pretty full right now. We're hoping to maybe start another program next fall. We are going to be adding some tool and die to our machine tool technology program. And Mr. Cutchins here, he teaches our CIT program. He's doing a great job. He's been building computers since he was about 3, so he understands everything about computers. And so glad to have him here. So thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, well, I know that, as I said, computers have changed our lives for the last 20 years. I know when I came into the workforce, we didn't even have email. So not that I've been around that long, but so things have changed. And of course, now it's more prevalent than ever. So you want to tell us a little bit about what the needs are in the industry today, in the businesses, and then we'll go to how you can kind of train people for that.
Well, I mean, with the pandemic, the focus is shifted a lot. To give you an example, one of the major partners I've been working with for the whole 5 years we've been here recently sold their building, and all of their employees are work at home now. So a lot of employers are stepping back and taking that look and saying, hey, maybe we don't have to have a physical building. Maybe as long as people have a decent internet connection and we can give them a computer and they can work at home. So
that has been a key, I know, for many, and they have found, even if they don't fully go to selling the building, they can shrink their footprint. They, no longer have to have everybody there 5 days a week, and they have found they were scared to step into that world of working from home, but they found that it actually works now that they've had to do that.
And so a skill that we have to focus on there is teaching people how to work from home. How work from home doesn't mean play at home and pretend like you're working, So
yes.
That's something we have to focus on now.
And that is a struggle. I know that when you're at home, I think there's 2 things that can happen. My husband happens to be the one on the other spectrum of that you do have to leave your office at some point and come back into civilization. So he spends a lot more time working when he's at home. And so you got to have that work-life balance there too. So what does your program do for, if someone wants to come in and enroll, how long is your program and what are you going to teach them?
So the program itself is 20 months. Now, I will put in front of that TCAT has what are called exit points. We have different exit points. So say you went through the first trimester and that was enough for you. We would award you a certificate at that point. There are different, it's not an even split, do a trimester, get an award. It used to be, but it's not anymore. But if you get to a certain point in the program and you say, this is more than I want, we can probably give you a credential. The entire program, if you do it all, is 20 months long. now the three basic certifications are the same for TCATs statewide. We have no flexibility. So I'll just kind of, what I like to do, and Sherry's been in my classroom a couple of times. I guess my spiel is just I'll walk you through what actual courses you're going to take. So we assume that you know nothing when you walk in the door. So you're going to learn how to turn on Windows, how to navigate Windows, how to navigate Office, all that kind of stuff, all the basics. And that may be enough for some people. That takes half of the first trimester to get through. If you went through college, think of that as an intro to computers course that you probably had to take when you were there, with the Microsoft Office aspect built into it and all of that. After that, we start on the first certification, which is the CompTIA A+. That is the huge one right now because that is the tech support help desk certification. So they are going to take the computer apart. They are going to learn all of the hardware in it. They are going to learn how to do diagnosis on what's wrong, how to fix and repair everything. There is some software diagnosis. Looking for maybe bad drivers. You install a program and it causes Windows to crash. The basic antivirus and malware, all that kind of stuff, that falls under the A+. And the A+ is split into two classes because it's actually two tests to get it. And the first class is the first half of the first trimester. So the second trimester, we finish that, and then we start networking, which also has become obviously a lot more important now. So they learn everything from how to program the switches and the routers and install the wireless networks and install the cable to configuring it on the end user end to troubleshooting it. We put a lot of emphasis on the hands-on, going to the command line or the terminal, whatever you want to call it, and configuring the equipment, actually knowing how to do that. And they have to do it. There's a network rack in my classroom that powers my classroom that they have to maintain. If you want internet and network access, you have to keep that up. If it goes down, you're the one that suffers. I'm on a totally different network. After that, we go into the basics of security. Now, what I like to say about security is it's a two-pronged approach. On one end, you're learning the basics of how to protect a network and all of the computers on that network. You're learning the malware and the viruses. You're learning encryption. They even have to learn encryption algorithms. On the other end, they've got the mile-high view on how to do the paperwork. You work for a hospital, so you're under HIPAA. So here's what you have to do to keep your system in compliance with HIPAA. You work for an accountant, you're under Sarbanes-Oxley. This is how you have to keep your systems in compliance. And people don't realize that those laws hit IT very hard. When those were passed, I don't remember HIPAA, but when Sarbanes-Oxley was passed after the Enron crisis, there was a lot of IT stuff in there. So those are the basic mandated statewide. Any TCAT you go to is going to have those three. Those last two trimesters, it's kind of up to us and our employer partners what we put in there. It actually changes fairly regularly, depending on what employers need or different things. We have currently a Linux Plus certification in there. If you're not, you probably don't know what I just said. That's an alternative operating system to Windows. Most of the servers in the world are powered by it. So because some of my employer partners that I'll get to in a minute are very server intensive, I wanted to expose them to that server operating system. And then they do a Windows 10 course. And at the specific request of my advisors, they do a help desk course. We have a full book on not on help desk. We spend that time, like I was joking with Sherry about the show, you can't be rude to customers on the phone. Don't use a lot. One of my big things is don't use a lot of jargon that intimidates your end users. They feel like you're trying to be superior to them if you throw a lot of big words at them. But also how to run the systems behind the help desk, how to do the ticketing systems and keep up with all the documentation that's involved with that. So that is the entire program. As far as classroom, of course, there's a lot of lab components built into that. We try to keep them very hands-on all the time.
Well, I do know that you now are having, I know you have a wide range of students that you have there. And I know sometimes from someone from my age demographics, we may feel a little inferior coming in and being in class with a 20-year-old that can play games and do all that they can do. Is there really is it, I mean, do you see that it's difficult for people that have not been around a lot of the terminology and the technology that when they come in, or is it easy for them to just come in and just fit right in?
I have a veteran who is retired military who is about to graduate my program, and I don't know his age, but I know he did, I think, 25, 30 some odd years in the military. He came in, he didn't know any of this, but he studied, he worked hard, he applied himself, and he has shot through it with really high grades the whole time. It doesn't matter if you're 19 or 20 or if you're 50. It's all on how much work you're going to put into it. And someone who's older and has had that career experience has a better understanding of you can't just do it in class. A lot of times with the younger students, I have to, you can't just look at this while you're in class and not think about it when you're at home, because you're never going to get it that way. The older students are more likely to understand that they have to put additional work into it.
This is true. I have someone, Rose, she says she doesn't know much. She wish she could afford classes. Jeff, that might be something you can speak to, because there are opportunities for people to take these classes and possibly not even have to be out any money. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, certainly. If you're a Tennessee resident, we have the Tennessee Promise and the Tennessee Reconnect. So if you're a recent high school graduate, we have the Tennessee Promise available for all Tennessee high school graduates, which covers your tuition. And if you're an independent adult, generally that's defined as age 24 or older, with no college degree, then you can apply for the Tennessee Reconnect, and that would cover your tuition. Those are last dollar scholarships that are applied after the Pell Grant. And so we're glad to help you work through that process of applying for financial aid. So basically you complete your FAFSA, which is a free application. Complete your FAFSA, and we work you through that process. And so, that's the benefit of TCAT is, usually most students come out owing no money when they graduate.
Well, I know a lot of times people get into this, I want to do something different. Maybe I've been in a certain field and I've been doing things, but, I've really gotten into computers all of a sudden, and now I want to change my path. I want to change what direction I'm going. And these are great opportunities for them to be able to do something locally here in Portland and be able to take that next step. And as you say, go as far as they want in that program, and even maybe just start out with a help desk in some organization. My husband is in IT, and he has a help desk, and they are always needing people and needing, those positions are just very important to all. And it's funny because people think of IT, but almost every company in every demographic and every industry needs an IT person.
I'll kind of tell you what I've noticed over the years, kind of a three-way split on my students, and kind of my partners have lined up with that. You have a lot that do want to do the help desk, and the help desk is great now because my major help desk partner is going to give them $13 an hour. They're going to give them 2 laptops to use at home, and they're going to work from home the whole time they work there. As long as they have a decent internet connection, they don't have to drive anywhere. And I won't give away employer names, but they are I'll give away one of them. I partner in 2 different facilities with Dell, and one of them is on that help desk. So you can get $13 an hour from home, and have Dell on your resume. Now speaking to the older students you talked about, they're easier to place because they have job experience. An adult with a resume is easier to place than a 19-year-old. Especially a 19-year-old whose mom never let them work through high school, because now they have no proof they can go to work on time. Somebody that's held a job before. The IT skills are great. All of my employers tell me constantly what we need is people that can show up to work on time and work while they're there and not play on their phone. That's what I hear from everybody.
And I think that is important in every industry. And I feel like that that sometimes nobody wants to be the one to train somebody on how to come to work. I don't want to use my money to hire somebody to be the one that's going to teach them, because that can be very, very difficult to teach somebody how to come to work. So that's a very important skill as well.
But the help desk, but if you don't want help desk, and I have to say, before I got into IT as a career, I did a lot of retail and management background. And the help desk is a great place to start, because that really gets you keyed in on how to deal with end users, which I like to tell the students, IT is not the guy in the basement anymore. That's 20 years ago. You have to be head on. You have to be good at face-to-face with your users. You have to be able to be polite and professional with your end users. So help desk is great for that. We have my other two long-term partners. One is going to be hands-on. If you like building computers and servers, you're going to do that for them all day. And then my third one is one of the largest one of the largest IT placement firms in the state. They can get you just about anything. I have placed to the state of Tennessee through them. They also have a huge data cabling component, which I always have a few students that want to run cable for a living. And then we have two new partners just this trimester, and both of them approached us. One of them is, and your husband would probably, I know he works for an engineering place in Nashville. We just got partnered up with one of the engineering firms in Nashville, a place called Reagan Smith called us up, and we have just placed one of our students in their IT department. He will be starting tomorrow. And then a place in Laverne that we literally didn't even know existed, we went and visited yesterday. That's the one I was mentioning to you before the meeting. They have such a need that they are going to have to partner with Nashville, Portland, Murfreesboro, and Shelbyville at a minimum to get everybody they need in there. And they build servers for Amazon, Google, and Facebook. When you log on to Amazon, Google, or Facebook, you are logging on to servers that this firm built. And these students will be getting to build them.
That's awesome.
So those are our major partners, and that's kind of the split. Like I said, if you don't like help desk, if you like hands-on, I've got two partners that'll do that for you. Actually, three, because the engineering firm, apparently, and I'm sure David will tell you this, engineers are hard on computers. And so he's going to be replacing graphics cards and CPUs and stuff once the engineers have burnt them out doing their work.
Well, sometimes I could be called one that can damage some computers too. So, but could have something to do with a lot of that click, 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 click we were talking about earlier, without the patience. So, but it is. So, do you offer anything on the programming side, or is that something that that they would have to do a different program to get any part of that?
Well, that's interesting, because traditionally we have, apparently I've been told that long before I was ever here, they did programming. But we have not done it in the whole time I've been here. But we started, all the TCAT CIT teachers in the state meet once a year. And we were just having meetings before coronavirus broke out. They were going to change our curriculum. And 2 or 3 years down the road from now, we probably will have some basic programming in. But as of now, officially, no. If you want to learn it and you work hard on the other stuff, I can point you in the right direction.
Well, there's such, like I say, so many different avenues that people can go to with any type of IT skills. It is needed, like you say, hospitals and in like any profession that you go in the retail side. I mean, they have IT on their shopping website databases. There's so many that you can utilize these skills to do any type of profession, and you could go into to help in that realm. And it's only going to get more. We're only going to have a more of a need for these type of jobs. So if you're looking for a new career, or even just wanting to sharpen your skills, I think that being able to do that locally here is something that I think they should look at doing with you guys.
Well, and a lot of my students leave here, and we have a transfer path with Vol State, so that if they want to go on, they can go straight into that CIT program. I have a lot of students that leave here and go straight to Western Governors University, which is an completely online 4-year school. That their IT program is very respected. So we are, but even if you don't continue to go to school from here, in this field, you never stop learning. You never stop getting certified. You never stop learning. So we are the basis for that career. We are giving you the foundation to get started. And from there, like I tell my students, you may stay as a technician. You may go to database, systems admin, programming. You know, if you stay in this your whole career, you're going to change what you're doing 4 or 5 times. So we're trying to give you a firm foundation, and we mentioned I don't know how long this goes, Sherry. You'll just have to cut me off at some point. We spend a lot of time on the worker characteristics. I have a full 5 trimester lineup on critical thinking, decision making, problem solving, professionalism, verbal communication, written communication, teamwork. We cover all that stuff while they're here because our employers have told us it's so important to them.
And, you know, like we were talking, that is very important. I know this is one of those, as we, even in things such as Facebook, as we go through, things change monthly, weekly in all of these. So you're getting that foundation, and there will always be something new to learn, whether it's a program, whether it's a new network, whatever it may be. There's always going to be new challenges out there. So I feel like that anytime that you can come in and get that basic information and build on that based on where you go, because you may go to an engineering firm or Dell, and it would be different things that you would need to increase your knowledge on. And then you could go for various certifications in those as well.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So how many students do you typically have in a running period?
You broke up a little bit there, Sherry. What was it? What was that?
How many students do you typically have in your program at a given time?
My cap is 24. The lowest I've had since we got, obviously when we first opened, it was lower than that for a semester or two. But since it's filled up the first time, we typically stay between 18 to 24. College, whether or not I have college openings depends on how many of the dual enrollment students I have, because we do have the 2 dual enrollment programs here. I have, as of now, 4 openings for spring.
Okay.
Right now I have 12 college and 8 high school. And I also have 4 on co-op right now, and that number is probably going to go up in the next week or two. And if they're on co-op, then typically that is a seat that I can give to somebody else. So we do have openings. If you want to fill them, now is the time to do it.
And that spring, does it start in January? Is that when
January the 4th. Yes.
So that you would need to get on that and get started, get all the paperwork in there so that you could get started in January. Again, if you're looking for something to come through and be able to expand your knowledge in the IT realm and be able to get out there and maybe change your path or sharpen your skills on something that you've already been interested in, but just not had those certifications, then you guys are the way to go.
Yes, ma'am. And we'd love to have anybody that wants to come.
Yeah, go to TCATnashville.edu, or you can give us a call here at 325-5575. They can go to TCATnashville.edu and you can complete the application there. There's no application fee, and that'll put you on the wait list for the spring, and you just have to select the spring trimester.
Well, and then they can go out there and complete the FAFSA, and that'll let them know if they qualify for any of that free tuition. That it's always great when you can somebody else can help you get through that and reach those new objectives that you have out for your new career.
And I always tell my students, if you come here and you want a job in IT, you will leave with one. We have way more openings than we'll ever fill.
Do you also want to reach out to any of the businesses that are looking to fill jobs to reach out to you as well? Because I'm
always looking for more partners. Anybody in Portland, Gallatin, Hendersonville that's watching, if you need people, come see us. I'll always take more partners.
Well, like you say, it's the best thing to know is that you can go and expand your education, but when you leave there, you can have a job. And that is the whole point of going and learning more, is to be able to leave there and be able to find a new career or a new job in the field that you're wanting.
Absolutely.
Well, Jeff, you want to talk about anything else that you've got going on there, or enrollments now for many of your classes? And do you have other openings in other areas?
Well, currently, like Andrew said, we do have a few openings in CIT, a few openings in advanced manufacturing for the spring. Also, we have a few openings in administrative office technology. Like I said, most of our programs fill up pretty fast. So if you're thinking about coming, I would encourage you, like I said, to go ahead and apply. Usually, if you apply in the fall, then we would have a space for you in the following fall. Depending upon the program, usually administrative office technology, advanced manufacturing, and CIT usually has a few spots available that you can get in at the last minute. But other programs are generally full, a few months ahead.
Well, if they don't meet this spring semester, is it then the fall, or is there a summer semester that they can get into? How does that work?
Yeah, it would just roll them over to the next trimester.
Okay. Well, Andrew, you have anything else you want to share with us, or?
I think we've pretty much covered it. Like I said, like anybody that's looking for help, come see us. Anybody that wants to, come improve their CIT skills, come and see us. We'll be happy to have you.
Well, I know that, again, I can't talk enough about how exciting it is to have a location here locally that we can train our high school students. We can train college and career students that are just, and then people that may have been in the working field for a long time and now they just want to do something different. So it's great to have that, to where they don't have to drive to Nashville. They don't have to go far away. And again, like I say, I'm just so glad that you guys are here and can fill that niche for us.
Well, thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you. We'll look forward to talking with you soon. We'll check back in maybe next month with another one of your courses, and we can talk then about another one there, Jeff.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
All right, you as
Thank
well.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.